A 35-year-old man accused of terror financing activities will appear in the Lichtenburg Magistrate's Court today. He was arrested at his home in Sandton on Friday. This follows an investigation that began in 2018 after the Financial Intelligence Centre and the Hawks received information about what they thought were suspicious transactions allegedly linked to terror financing. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is keeping an eye on this one for us from court. Nqobile, what's the latest?
Well, at the moment, Iman, we are waiting to hear when that case will start, but we know that any hour from now it will begin. But we know that the importance around this case is to ensure that there's no terror financing that happens in the country, mainly because it's criminalized. And I want to bring in now the Hawks to speak to us about that case. I mean, we know that it was 11,500 rand that was moved across, but how were you able to follow all the money?
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning to you and your viewers. One, we work with other stakeholders, both local and international. And safe to say, on this incident, we worked with FIC and we received information and we swiftly acted on that information and in collaboration with them. And eventually, on the 3rd of October last year, we conducted a search and seizure at the properties of the suspect in Sandton, Johannesburg. And quite a number of material was taken for further investigation. It is that search and seizure that has brought us, that has ensured the arrest of the suspect who was arrested on Friday afternoon, and we ensured that we secured him for court attendance today. Maybe you may wonder why he's in Joburg and yet he's appearing in Lichtenburg. The investigation revealed that at the time of that transaction, he was residing in Lichtenburg. Although later he then he now lives in Johannesburg. That's why we brought him back here.
And I know that he obviously will appear any minute from now, but perhaps if you can give us an idea, what are you hoping will happen in court now as the Hawks?
All right. Firstly, this is his first appearance. And on his first appearance, there might be issues of bail, and it might be to discuss today or not, or maybe it might be postponed for bail. We're not sure. The magistrates will decide. Ours is to ensure that he comes to court. And of course, whether the bail is being heard today or some other time, we will definitely oppose bail because of the seriousness of the matter. As you would know, it's a serious offense, funding terror organizations. That is the allegation that is faced now. And ours, as you would know, the seriousness of it also in the country, there are concerns that we are trying to address, like the FATF standards. We are obligated as the police in concert with other financial institutions to ensure that we watch all money laundering issues and those that are possibly funding certain organizations that are outside of the country that are involved in terrorism acts. So we have an obligation to watch that, and this is one of the cases we believe that we've made an success in arresting the suspect. Of course, the matter will be heard in court today.
And just to maybe take you out of that, perhaps as the Hawks, investigating such cases is one that is very tricky because you have to follow it for so many years. But is South Africa seeing a rise or a drop in these cases?
Well, these cases are not only a challenge in the country. As you would know, quite a number of countries are also expected to ensure that they, abide by the FATF standards. We are not the only country that is expected to do so, even other countries. And I think these criminals have become very sophisticated in these days. You would find an incident where there are other institution, whether it's a gambling institution where they've got their own wallet and where people are depositing money, but you'd find, criminal syndicate, taking advantage of that, depositing criminal proceeds into those accounts and then it then goes back to the accounts of individuals, your normal bank accounts. Now, at first value, it might seem that this money is perhaps won from that gambling platform, but no, you might find when you trace it, it's money that has been deposited there, not actually the winning. So those are the tactics that the criminal syndicates are doing, and we are aware of those, and we are doing our best in concert with other financial institutions. Like in this case, we've worked quite well with the FIC, who are our, one of the major stakeholders, including the banks and the SABREC and other stakeholders in the financial fraternity.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. That is the Hawks, man. They're highlighting the importance of following these cases, especially because the country has to abide with the rules, especially around the world. As you can see, that terrorism is one of the things that the world will not tolerate.
Nqobile, Madlala, thank you for that update.